Good evening, everyone in the United States, and good morning, everyone in Australia, where I am. Welcome to Magic Partners Live, where we talk all about Disney every week. And right next to me is my biggest Magic Partners Live partner, and that is Chase. Hello, Chase. How you
Hello.
going? Chase is from DisneylandToday.net, of course. Well, I'm going to say famous TikToker, Disney TikToker as well. Just going to say it,
Not
putting it out
quite.
there. Not quite, but
Not
putting it out
quite,
there.
but I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
We are Disney experts for today. We're going to go through a lot today, including a trip you made to Disneyland earlier on in the week. We'll get to that in a minute. We're also going to talk about Disney Plus Day, which happened on the 12th. We'll fill you in everything that happened at the parks, and also what actually happened on Disney Plus to celebrate. We're going to talk a lot about the holiday season here because it's holiday time officially now in the parks. So really excited about that. And then we're just going to talk about a few new things happening on Disney Plus in terms of, a few good Star Wars things happening, and also some more animated series coming up. But first of all, Chase, I'm really excited to talk about your trip over to Disneyland. Now, tell me all about it. I hear that when you arrived fresh, the first thing that you saw was some tree or something that was happening in
some,
the
some
parks.
tree or
Yeah,
something.
something, yeah. There was
Yeah.
some sort of tree that happened. Let me flash up the photo while you talk about it. Look at that.
Yep, yep.
Isn't that
It's
amazing?
so beautiful. It is a gorgeous Christmas tree, and yeah. So when I got up, which was probably I'd planned to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning, but instead I was ended up getting up around 12:30, which in California was 11:30. So the park was still open, and I was watching some of my friends broadcast,
Hmm.
and none of the tree hadn't been up yet. So literally, as I was driving to California,
Wow.
they were getting ready to close the park and put up the tree overnight. So
Yep.
by the time I got to Disneyland and entered the park that day, which is about 9 o'clock,
Hmm.
the tree was there in all of its splendor. It was absolutely gorgeous, and everything was ready, even though it wasn't quite the official date for Christmas. Disneyland was ready for it. They were, itching to get everything up and ready for Christmas time. So it was great to see that tree.
Yeah, awesome. And what about the rest of the park? Is it sort of completely decked out now in the holiday season from what you saw?
Yep, everything is completely. Well, now, of course, now we've reached the official Christmas date, but unfortunately, the one thing that's not open that everybody was hoping for was It's a Small World, because the day before the first Merriest Nights, the
Hmm.
ride flooded.
Oh,
And
wow.
the flume, as they were refilling it, flooded and damaged a lot of mechanical equipment that helped made the ride just function. And so it is still closed without a date of it coming back
Oh, my
open.
goodness.
So it's like this the Small World holiday has been
Mm.
delayed for an unknown period of time while they fix this issue with the flooding.
And how about the facade of the front? Is that
Yes,
still
it is
decorated?
ready. It
Yep.
is lit up, and it's beautiful, and
Yep.
it looks absolutely amazing. So they were able to do that, and they are doing that nightly. So if you go over to Fantasyland, over to It's a Small World, every night they do have that little lighting ceremony that they do when it's time to turn on the lights,
Yep.
and you can see It's a Small World with all its amazing colors. And let me tell you, of all the things in Disneyland that are quite spectacular,
Yep.
It's that attraction during the holidays.
Yeah. Yep. And they do sort of a special show. Is it on the hour or something like that? That they change what's going on, or is it just flow like the whole time? Is it always sort of changing, or is there a specific time that it sort of turns into a show?
Oh, so it's they do convert it for Christmas,
Yep.
and that's usually the very first day that it's Christmas time in
Yep. In the parks.
Disneyland.
Yep.
There, it's a small world holiday opens up, and then it stays that way
Okay.
until January 9th, and that's when all the Christmas stuff disappears, including the Haunted Mansion holiday.
Oh, okay. So the holiday. Oh, so they're not carrying that through Christmas time?
No, it'll still be there until January 9th.
Okay. Yep. Yep. So that's great. And they do a Halloween sort of show on the facade of It's a Small World too. Do they not, or am I wrong in saying?
Yeah, there will be all the fireworks premiered with the first day of Christmas, and
Yep.
they were absolutely beautiful. I had a chance to watch them on a live stream,
Right.
and the Believe in Holiday Magic fireworks spectacular projects on the front of the castle, as well as It's a Small World. So I'm guessing that, the fireworks won't be every night. It'll probably have a similar schedule as to how the Halloween ones went, where the fireworks are on the weekend. But during the week, you can watch the projections on the castle and in front of It's a Small World.
Okay. So I'm just going to throw up a reel that Disneyland did this week on the holidays, so that everyone can see sort of how it transforms. And there's even snow on Main Street, isn't it? I think they've got a bit of snow coming down. Normally not snow in California, but at this point,
it's really cool. They're very, very tightly like bubbles that are almost, it's like foam. So it's beautiful when it comes out, and it falls just like snow. It's amazing.
Yeah. So the other park that has transformed for the Christmas period, and I'll get back to Disneyland as well, just so that everyone can see. We had Disney release a sort of transformation. So, there's a lot of work go in overnight, basically, to the transformation for the parks, isn't there? So, we go from Halloween straight into the holiday season, basically overnight. So you can see here that over in the Magic Kingdom, the tree goes in. And this was kind of happening while you were driving down in Disneyland. So you can see how much work they're actually achieving in one night. It's pretty amazing. And of course, we didn't have Disneyland open last year. So, we were all waiting for this sort of transformation to happen, which we never got to see last year. So it makes it all the more magic to see it back in Disneyland this year. How long was Disneyland closed for, Chase? Was it a little over a year, was it? Year and 3 months?
412 days.
And who's counting? So it is, I think it's even more magical to see, Disneyland transform into the holiday season now that we didn't see it last year. It makes you appreciate it even more. So talk us through.
I think so, and I think that's the reason why it's been so popular this year to have everything going on, including our very first ticketed event for Christmas, which was the Merriest Nights, which was sold out very quickly.
Yeah, it was sold out very quickly. There was one day left for a little while, and then it was gone as well. So that's interesting. I didn't think that. I wasn't aware that that was the first kind of ticketed event for Christmas time at Disneyland. But of course, we've got a ticketed event every year at Disney World for the holiday time over there. So that's interesting to know. Why do you think that all of a sudden there was a ticketed event? Do you think because of the pandemic they were trying to keep numbers into numbers down or into a realm that they could sort of stick to? Because holidays is a huge time of year, isn't it? And it does cause a lot of people to come to the park. So do you think that was a sort of tactic to keep the numbers in check, Chase, or?
I don't know. I think it was. I think it was probably just like, hey, we could really do an amazing celebration. And from
Yep.
what I was able to see of it, which its first Merriest Night's first night was November 11th.
Yep.
So it was a day before the official Christmas transition,
Yep.
and it looked to be an absolute success, except for the food. The couple that I watched on the very first night, Disney ran out of their major food items within the first 30
Whoa.
minutes to an hour. Um,
Wow.
and they were issuing refunds like crazy because people were mobile ordering food and it was all gone. They sold out of their like the type of fries that they had. They had like a loaded fries. They had a Thanksgiving leftover burger, and they ran out of that. And so they were out of their major food items. So pretty much the only thing left for people to have as far as like a meal is considered was like really sweet stuff. So all of the little treats and snacks and all the new churros and stuff like that, you had no
Yep.
problem finding those. But the meal items that would have been like savory items weren't available for that night. And I don't know if they just weren't expecting people to be ordering that quickly or that much.
Yep.
But they were not ready for that rush right at the beginning, and it was only a 4-hour event. It ran from 8 o'clock to midnight.
Yeah. Sometimes they probably underestimate their own fans and how much they really want to come in and enjoy, what they have to offer. Before we came on today, you told me that this is the best visit that you'd ever had to Disneyland. And I said to you, that's a pretty big call. So talk us through your experiences and why it was your best experience in Disneyland thus far.
Well, on TikTok, I moderate for several people, and my intention was to meet a couple that I moderate for, who are Jose and Bailey, who are there in the matching Star Wars sweaters in the back, straight ahead.
Yep.
And I was going to meet them and hang out with them a little bit and just chat and get to know them better from moderating their channel. But it just so happened that there were, because of the first day of the Christmas tree being up, there just happened to be a lot of live streamers and especially TikTokers. So it was amazing. We ended up, I met Jesse first, who is over just to the right of Jose, his right, Jesse. And I actually ended up kind of stalking him from Haunted Mansion because I was over in Galaxy's Edge. Um, Rise of the Resistance had shut down, so I couldn't get on the ride yet.
Last
And
viewing.
so I found out that Jesse was broadcasting from Haunted Mansion, and so I actually caught him as he was getting off the ride.
Yep.
And from that point, we found out like when Jose and Bailey were going to be showing up. And after I met with them, this whole group assembled from TikTok. And so we had Jesse, Jose, Bailey, we had Tetris, we had, and it was just, there was just a huge group of us that got together, and we stayed together for the entire day, which was
Wow.
absolutely fantastic. And if you've never seen what it's like being around somebody who is, a big, even now, like, even in this group sitting here, we were all on our on our phones, and people were making videos, so it's like their work is never finished.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
all sitting around waiting. Once we'd ordered our food, which was absolutely amazing, we ate at the Lamplight Lounge in California Adventure. That's what I ordered. Those are the lobster nachos, which were absolutely delicious.
They look pretty
um,
good.
they are incredible. They were just, just loaded with everything. There's some pico de gallo on there. The lobster's up at the top, covered in amazing cheese with some onion, a little bit of diced jalapeno, and um, they were just so, so good. And you could, a lot of us ended up getting nachos, and some people had like the steak. So there were like steak nachos that you could get, and we ended up just getting on so many cool rides. For the very first time, I was able to go on Web Slingers because they just recently opened Web Slingers on a standby basis. So
Yep.
it's no longer a virtual queue.
Yep.
And it was about a 55-minute wait for everybody, but Tetris just went in there, worked his charm, and we got right on. We walked on the ride, and it was so much fun. Like, people are like saying, oh, it's a screen ride, it's 3D and everything, but I'll tell you, it's definitely a workout. I got the lowest score in our group, but it was so much fun. It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. It is really, really cool to see, and I didn't realize, like, that vehicle you're in, that
Mm-hmm.
sucker whips you around
Right.
pretty
Very fast.
fast.
Yeah. Yeah. It's trackless as well. Is the vehicle trackless? Am I right in
No,
saying
it
that?
is
It's
not.
not.
That
Okay.
one's not trackless. It does have a track, but you can't even tell because you're in this container, like, that's, all you can see is out of that window that's perfect
Yeah.
for you to see out of, and it sits like 4 or 5 people on each side.
Yep.
And so we were just having an absolute blast, and it was great. But I will tell you what was not so great was Mission Breakout. Guardians of the Galaxy was.
You're not a
They
fan.
made me do it. They kept on telling me, "Oh, we're so proud of you. You
Yeah.
faced your
Yeah.
fears." And I'm like, I hated
He did.
every second of it.
Yeah. Please don't make me do that
I was
again.
shaking. I was shaking so hard. I was in the line, and I would just, like, you could see, like, by my mask, because we had to wear a mask indoors. I was like hyperventilating. It was like, and they're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you seriously okay?" And I'm like, "No, no, I'm not okay." But we got in there, and there are two, like, bars, like, right next to your legs, and so I was hanging on for dear life. Um, I don't even remember the song we got,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
man, that was absolutely terrifying. And they're just like, I was sitting next to Jose, and he's like, okay, he's like, this is the last one. This is the last drop, I promise. And I'm like, I hate this. And I grabbed him afterwards, and I was like, I love you, but I hate you.
Yeah, it's
It
a
was
scary
so
one.
terrifying. I had my eyes closed for most of it.
So, have you been on the ride when it's been Mission Breakout and Tower of Terror? Have you been on the two
Yeah, yeah.
experiences?
I'd been on Tower of Terror before, and everybody was saying it's so much different. It's so much better, and I'm like, I didn't notice any difference. It
Difference?
was both terrifying.
Well, it's hard to notice a difference with your eyes shut, so the whole time.
But I mean, you could definitely feel it. I felt that, and it's absolutely horrifying.
So great experience to be with these guys, and it looks like you got on quite a few rides.
We did. We really did. And one of the last things that we did for the day was we went to as a group. The last thing we did was we went on Rise of the Resistance at around, probably, I'd say, about 9 to 9:30 at night.
Yep.
And so the park closed at 10. So it was probably closer to 9 that we were there because we had a little bit of time. And then most of the crew split after that. But I stayed with Jose and Bailey, and we went to Haunted Mansion Holiday as the pretty much the last ride of the night. They
Yep.
stayed, but at this point, I I could feel the blisters. I was in
Yeah.
such pain. My feet were killing me. I hadn't intended to stay, but
Yep.
it's like because I was like, I could have gone at like 3:30, like I'd planned.
Yep.
But I was having so much fun with everybody, and we were about to get food, and I'm like, there's no way I'm driving 6.5 hours after eating
Mm.
food. It's
Yeah.
just not going to happen. So I made a reservation at a nearby hotel
Yep.
and just stayed with them until pretty much the park closed.
Wow.
And it was just so much fun, but man, my feet hurt so bad.
What time? What time is the park closing? At the moment, Chase.
I know that I think around the holiday thing when they had a Christmas come up, I think it stayed open until midnight. I know it stayed open to midnight for um, Merriest Nights. It ran from
Yeah.
8 to midnight. But for us, it was 10 o'clock. Typically, it's been open, like either fluctuating between 11 p.m. and 10 p.m.
Okay.
And then midnight for these events for Merriest Nights. So
Yep.
when I was walking down, Main Street and everything was so beautiful. It was all lit. And that's when
Yep.
I got that picture. I took the picture of the tree as I was walking out.
Yep.
Um, and the park is closed at this point, but all the shops on Main Street are open.
Open. Yeah, that's right.
And it was absolutely beautiful. And I think that the shot from where I was standing with the lamppost right there,
Absolutely.
it was just
Yeah.
a beautiful,
Beautiful.
beautiful picture.
Yeah. Yep.
There weren't very many people in front of me, and from that point, I got on the bus and headed back to the parking lot.
And those lamppost wreaths, they look new. I haven't seen those before. In years gone by. I might be wrong, but they look like something new. Because they do tend to repeat sometimes. The wreaths and stuff like that. But I think they're entirely new this year. Talk us through this photo as well, Chase. You guys, you guys.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, this is, of course, Mickey's Pal Around, which I like to say is Mickey's horror wheel, uh, because
Well, depending
if
on
you
which
go on to the
gondola you
swinging
go on.
gondolas,
Yeah.
it's terrifying.
Yep.
But the gang decided that they were all going to go on the swinging gondolas, and I was like, nope, not doing it. I made that mistake before, and I'm not doing it again.
Yeah.
So I just decided to wait over at the exit, but I was able to take that beautiful picture with my camera,
Yep.
all lit up, and it really did light up in so many different colors. It was so beautiful.
Yep.
A cast member asked me, he's like, "Do you want me to just get you? I can walk you onto the non-swinging
Mhm.
gondolas." And I'm like, no, 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 I will wait for my party and just like hang tight, and they'll
Yep.
be here. But I was watching as they were broadcasting from the gondola, and Jose was just like clinging to. I could hear them all screaming from the ground.
Yep. It
Let's
is.
put it that way.
It
I could
is
hear all
bad.
of them screaming.
Yep.
And I was like, I am so glad I'm not up there right now.
Yeah, that ride, how especially when you come round and you sort of fall steeply. Yeah,
Yep.
I reckon it's one of the scariest experiences in the park, to be honest with you.
It is terrifying, and
Yep.
and it was like, so I had, and if you want to go on the ride without the swinging gondolas, they're all on the outside there. So that
That's
one
right.
that's on the far left at the bottom, that's
Yep.
a non-swinging one.
Yeah.
but all of the swinging gondolas are on the inside of the wheel
Yeah.
on a oval kind of track, and so when it reaches its highest point, it's slowly going up that track, and as you move forward, it slides forward on the track and then rocks
Yeah. Oh,
back and
oh,
forth and
makes me
back
sick just
and
thinking
forth.
about it.
And I was like, guys, we had dinner at the Lamplight Lounge, and I was like, I would puke if I went on this ride right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and let me go back to the photo. Let's talk us through World of Color as we're in Pixar Pier here. In front of
Right.
you, World of Color is drained at the moment, and they're doing extensive works to bring World of Color back. Take us through what it
Yes.
was like looking over that.
It is definitely not pretty looking at the pier completely drained.
Yeah,
But they have covered up a bit of piping. They power washed everything, so
yeah,
all of the concrete, the sloping concrete that you see there, was all like power washed after they drained it, so it
yeah,
looks a lot nicer. It was
yeah,
looking kind of grimy.
yeah,
But it really, I mean, it changes how you see the entire pier, because that's the um when the water is up, the Mickey's pal around actually kind of dips underneath the water line there.
yeah,
So that square is actually built in, concrete and everything, but it goes underneath the water
yeah.
line
Mm-hmm.
of that wall there. So that's what makes it look like really, really cool, because um, of that water coming up. But hopefully, very, very soon, we will have World of Color back. And they're building a couple new structures in there that we're not sure what they are quite yet, but I've been keeping an eye on social media and what's going on with the construction of a couple of what look like some towers that would go to just about the height of the water line, so it would be right to the surface.
Yep.
But it will look much, much, much better when they finally refill it again. But no
Yep.
date set on when we'll see that happen or when World of Color will be back. But I'm guessing it'll be pretty early in 2022.
So yeah, yeah, that'd be great. And we've seen the same World of Color show for many many years now. Do you think that will change? Do you think we'll get a new show coming back? I mean, if you take a look at Fantasmic, that never kind of changes. They did a few years ago. They put a little couple of tweaks on, but they never changed the show as a whole. And do you think that's the same? Look, there's a lot of sentimental sort of attachment to World of Color show. Do you think they will change it, Chase, or do you think we'll see the
Um,
same show?
One of the things that's really cool about World of Color is that they're able to update it based on new shows and movies and all that kind of stuff. So we may see some pretty cool things come out of a new World of Color
Yep.
presentation. And I'm guessing probably one of the new things that will be incorporated is something for Marvel, especially with like Avengers Campus and
Yeah.
all of the new shows that are coming
Yep.
for the new lineup for just the next couple of years for Marvel is absolutely incredible. Just looking at the stuff that came out with the lineup from Disney Plus Day. I
Yeah.
mean, the shows that are coming for Marvel are mind blowing. I was like, oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. This is so cool. So they've got a lot of stuff coming. So I think Marvel will play the next big part of World of Color.
Yeah, and talking about Disney Plus Day, we did have that sort of arrive at the parks, and you got a chance to see what was happening at Disneyland. Am I right in saying that, or you saw some
I didn't see it
carpet?
in person, of course, but
Okay.
I did see some online coverage, which was really, really amazing.
Yep.
In that, over at the front gates of Disneyland, they had blue carpet rolled out that was exactly the size of the front area that's right
Yep.
in front of the train station and the Mickey flower bed that's there. So as soon as you went through the turnstiles, you were stepping on that Disney Plus Day blue carpet, which went from the turnstiles right up to the brick. And so, yeah, thank you for showing that. When I saw this on a live video, I was like, "Oh my gosh." I'm like, "Did they paint that?" No, it's actually like perfectly measured carpet. And I was just like, "That is just so cool."
It is cool. And what else was cool is the way that they lit up the icons. So let me come up to the top of this page again. So
Yeah, everything looks blue.
So Walt Disney World and Disneyland.
Yep.
Disney World again, and they even lit up the sails at the stage at the back there in Hawaii, and of course Epcot as well.
That's amazing.
I've said it once, I'll say it again. For the 50th, I think the best part about the 50th is the way they've lit Spaceship Earth at Epcot.
Oh, absolutely. The show that goes along with it, that's synchronized to music, is just absolutely fascinating. I would be perfectly happy if they got rid of every show and then just kept that one at Spaceship Earth, because it's incredible.
Yeah.
I was like, that moved me to tears. I was like, oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Yep.
The other stuff,
Yeah, I don't know. I've not been a huge fan. Just let me show this footage. Sorry, it's a bit stretched, guys. And this is of the new glow up they're doing on the monorail. But you can see behind there the sort of what we mean by the show of on Spaceship Earth. So that is the best part of, in my opinion, it's the best part of 50th. And like, I haven't seen too many good. I'm not going to say good. Like the shows that they put on, particularly I like the Epcot fireworks as well, are still really amazing. But I think they lack a bit of emotional connection. Is that what we're kind of looking for?
Yeah.
When we look at the new fireworks show for the 50th at Magic Kingdom and also at Epcot, that's the biggest comment I've heard, right? Like the lack of connection, emotional connection to those shows. So it's interesting. It's interesting. What I do like the gold statues that are placed around all of the parks. I think they're great. And now we're moving into the holiday season, of course, over there in Disney World. And Bryan was in Animal Kingdom the other day. Look, Disney World does the holiday season so very, very well. Some of the trees, even in the hotels, are absolutely amazing. And Bryan was over there.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the trees like that they have, and also the life-size gingerbread houses that they do over at Walt Disney World are amazing.
Yep, right. And so Bryan was over there and I'm going to line up that video in just a second. Here we go. So Bryan was over there in Animal Kingdom this week, and I just wanted to show you the amazing Christmas tree that's outside of Animal Kingdom. Just amazing. The trees they put into every park and every hotel over there. And how many, and this is going to lead on to something else that I want to tell everyone about, the fact that Chase can now book your holiday, and we'll talk about that in a second. But how many hotels are there, on Disney property out there?
I believe, if I remember correctly, there are somewhere around 26 to 28 different resorts on Disney property.
Yeah. So if you are a big Disneyland person, you've been to Disneyland many, many times, and you haven't been to Disney World as yet, what would you have to say is... Like, for me, I know what the answer is, but what would you have to say is what the biggest difference between Disneyland and Disney World? And I hope you agree, but I'd have to say the size It's just so much bigger
The
over there.
size is mind blowing considering that you have so many different things. But I think that every person who is like a Disneyland enthusiast who is that's their home park, like it is for me,
Yep.
I think they will tell you like one of the biggest pluses of being at Disneyland is the fact that your second park is within walking distance.
Yep.
You just can't do that with Walt Disney World. You either have to take a bus, a van, a Skyliner, a monorail, a ferry. You have to take some other mode of transportation to get between the parks, and it can be exhausting. It can take a lot of time, which is why you pretty much want to stick to like one park per day. It is very
Yep.
difficult to park hop.
Yep.
And if you do decide to park hop, make sure you set aside plenty of time to do your traveling between the
Mm-hmm.
parks, because it can take upward of a half an hour or more
Yep.
to get to your next park, depending on what mode of transportation you're taking
Yep.
and how busy it is for that day. So, on a very busy day, it could take you anywhere from like 45 minutes to an hour to get between the park that you want to visit.
Yep.
So that is like the biggest thing. It's nice to be able to walk out of Disneyland, walk through the Esplanade, and be over at California Adventure.
Yeah, it
And
is.
without even
Yep.
having to cross a street, you're still right there on Disney property, just bam.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you an example. We stayed at the Contemporary, and just to go to Disney Springs, which is their version of Downtown Disney, I guess, which did used to be called
Yeah.
Downtown Disney, it took us about a half an hour bus ride and about a 15-minute wait for that bus to come. So 45 minutes just to get and when you're in Disneyland, you just walk outside the hotel, boom, you're right there amongst it all. I mean, that's the difference as well. But would you say that, especially for people who love Disneyland, there's a little bit more emotional connection over in Disneyland than there is in Disney World? But to tell you the truth, walking around Disney World, your mouth's just open the whole time at the absolute size of the thing. I mean,
Oh,
easily
sure.
you could easily spend 2 months there and not see it all. Definitely.
Yeah,
So
that's probably very, very true, especially with all the additions that they make to Walt Disney World and the stuff that they're able to add and change and,
yeah,
um, you know, just improve on, constantly. But Disneyland, you can't deny that it really is nostalgic in the fact that Walt walked those grounds. I mean, it was dirt when he figured out where the castle was going to be.
yeah,
He had his hands in everything. He wanted to make sure it was a certain way. Things had to be extremely specific. He was a perfectionist.
yeah,
And so there was no, half balling anything. He had everything to a certain specification to have it ready, to have it, and they really got up to the minute because the concrete wasn't even completely dry when they opened up the park.
yeah,
It was literally up to hours before they opened, and a lot of things went wrong, but everything, worked out in his favor because everybody loved it. And
yeah,
it's only gotten better from there. And, there are so many classic attractions that are still so much better than the ones that are in Walt Disney World, that you can really tell that the difference in how they were, how they went about setting up the attraction in Walt Disney World and not taking as, I guess, closest to details to the one in Disneyland. And so, I like to say bigger isn't always better in this case. There are some things about Disneyland that you just have to experience, that make it so, so beautiful and unique. But yeah, I mean, I get that, Walt Disney World is definitely, if you have the time to spare, if you have, 4, 5, 6 days, even a week
Yeah,
to spend, then yeah, I can see where that would be a perfect destination. But
yeah,
man, Disneyland is still so absolutely beautiful, even for its size. It's just packed with so much to do and so
yeah,
much to see.
yeah.
And it's absolutely beautiful, which is why I just love being there.
Yeah, and I would have to say, having a little kid of my own, like the kiddos seem to get around Disneyland a lot better. It's a lot better size for them. I would say that with Disney World, it's better sort of for teens and up. People that can get around a bit more and see a lot more, because there is quite a bit of distance, because the parks are so huge as well that it takes you half an
Yeah.
hour to drive from one to the other. So it really is amazing. I'm not. I wouldn't try to turn you off a Disney World trip in any stretch of the imagination. It's an absolutely amazing park. And look, I and if you tune into Bryan, he's in there every week. And there's always something new going on. So if you're planning a trip over to Disney World, make sure you head over to Brian's Magic Life and see what's going on, and plan your trip around his vlogs, because they're very informative and he's always in the park. So go over there, subscribe, and give him a big thumbs up for us. So Disney Plus Day, and we got a lot of new things sort of happening on Disney Plus as a platform as well, that are coming up and also dropped. So we got the latest Marvel movie that was in the cinemas drop onto Disney Plus, didn't we, in the last couple of days?
Yep.
And
Shang-Chi.
yep. And the Ten Rings, and you actually saw it in the theaters, Chase. What? Give us
Yeah,
a.
it was my first trip back to the theaters. I went ahead and saw Shang-Chi, which is absolutely amazing. It is a great Marvel movie, and it ties in very, very nicely, just like any film does in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep.
It ties in really nicely with movies that are coming up. It was good to see, Wong from Doctor Strange. So I think this is definitely one that is good to have on Disney Plus, and it went out, beautifully. It was in the cinema just like it was scheduled to, and then it came to Disney Plus several months after, which is great. So there is no extra, like there's no premiere price to watch Shang-Chi.
Yep.
And so you can just go on Disney
Yeah.
Plus and watch it right now.
Yep.
And I highly recommend it. It's a great, great Marvel movie.
Yeah, I'm currently halfway through it. So yeah, thanks for the no spoilers. That was great. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be a great movie, and I was really pleasantly surprised to see it drop without any price added to it as well. So that's really good. So if you're a subscriber to Disney Plus, get over there and watch it now. So what else? So what I'm probably most excited about that did drop this week also was, can you really call it a trailer, of Obi-Wan Kenobi? I don't think I can really call it a trailer, but we got a bit of art, I'm going to say, and a lot of Ewan talking to us about what Obi-Wan's going to be all about. What I did sort of get excited about is we actually had confirmed that Hayden's going to be back in the role of Darth Vader. So we got that confirmed. We kind of knew from some very good rumors that was going to happen. And also that they would be having a lightsaber duel once again between Obi-Wan and Hayden. That to me,
yeah, he definitely
really
suggested that they would be fighting again.
Okay.
But now we know exactly where this is on the timeline. This is taking place just after where we left off in the movies, after he's given Luke over to Beru and Owen.
Yeah.
And so we know that that's where he pretty much stayed on Tatooine from that point.
Yep.
So we know that this is where, this is where we are in the timeline for this. We're gonna see, Hayden as Darth Vader in his youth, as this Dark Lord.
Yep.
And so that should be very exciting. And I think everybody's going to love seeing this. I think it's going to be as exciting as The Mandalorian, if not more, for so many people.
Yeah, I think you're right there. It's sort of that timeline seems to be, yeah, it's sort of it's sort of before, so it's before The Mandalorian, just to get everyone sort of straight. Um, that timeline, that sort of, it's sort of a sweet spot, isn't it? Sort of with entwined in the older movies, and also the sequels is sort of a very interesting timeline for a lot of people. They want to
Sure.
see
I
what
mean, no matter
happened
what,
behind
it's
the
like
scenes.
you keep on saying, with Star Wars, that it was like, they try and edge us away from the
Mm,
Skywalker saga,
mm,
but you just can't help going back to it, because that's those are our characters, so it's
yep.
just like, no matter what, it all tends to come back to the Skywalker saga, and going back and following, Luke and Obi-Wan and Vader and all of those characters that we've known since 77.
Yep.
So it'll be really, really good to see this series, along with having, the Book of Fett,
Yep.
and The Mandalorian season 3.
What's very interesting, and there was a special that also dropped, behind the mask, which was a special on Boba Fett and how he sort of came about. It was very interesting to watch that, and I don't think George Lucas at the time really realised how much that character would take off. I mean, the armor was built. It was supposed to be a legion of special stormtroopers. Then they decided they didn't have the money for that. They decided that they would then turn to a bounty hunter called Boba Fett, who had really, to speak of, not many lines in the movie, and was supposed to be a background character, but became this sort of cult figure, and
Yeah.
really gave birth to the Mandalorians, which we've gone deeply into, both in Rebels and also now in the Mandalorian. So it's interesting how things turn out, and that is all people wanting to know about that time period of Star Wars. And we keep saying this, but we wish that time period could be mixed up inside Galaxy's Edge as well, so that we could really see some of these characters in the flesh, the way it is in Avengers Campus. We still struggle to understand why that can't be, I guess. Something else that sort of we got a bit of a trailer to, if we turn to animated series, was this one, which is we're going to get a Baymax series in 2022, and I was a big fan of the movie. I still do the secret.
I am too. I love Baymax.
Yeah, he's awesome and really, really funny, and this looks like more of the same. I've got to say, just by seeing this, I feel like if they're really sort of playing on from the movie, and he's still awesome.
Sorry.
He's still awesome. Yes,
it's so funny.
Yeah, I still do the secret handshake with my daughter. I'm looking forward to this in a big way. It looks, as much fun as what the movie was.
The end scene here, where he's like trying to fix the coffee, is just so funny.
Yeah, they're all waiting in line. I have been in that line. I have been in that line.
Can't get the
I have been in that line before, and with some teenager doing that. Yeah, absolutely.
His face is just so great. It's like
the guy that's hit the counter. Yep. Yeah. Fantastic. Love it. So that's going to hit Disney Plus. This is all, by the way, guys, this is all part of the Disney Plus Day. They sort of announced all of these new things that are coming up. It's it's interesting to see how much is coming up over in Disney Plus over in 2022. We're going to get a lot. The other thing that actually dropped that we actually got as well was this fella here, Olaf, telling a few of the old stories, some of the classic movies, and again. Oh, get over it. If you feel like a laugh, you have to get over and have a look at Olaf.
Oh my gosh, I was laughing so hard. It was too much. It was just, it's, it all started from when, when he tells the story of Frozen to everybody in the forest, and then they decided to do this, and it is just absolutely hilarious. Just like gut-wrenching hilarious.
Yep.
And I was watching, there's probably around there's six. I think there's Little Mermaid, there's Lion King,
yep.
Aladdin, Tangled,
Gold. Yep.
And is there another one?
Moana? Did you say Moana?
Oh, okay, that's it, Moana.
Yeah.
So there's five. I think. And and it is so funny. I would love to see them do more of this. Like, please keep them coming, because Josh Gad is so hilarious as
he's very talented
as Olaf. And of course, during the pandemic, we had Josh got together with Disney and even did those shorts from home.
Yeah.
And so even though there wasn't a lot of speaking to it, it was just these animated shorts all about Olaf in the forest. And they are just so funny.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
So to see this and have him explain all of the stories from his perspective is just so funny. And I think the one of The Lion King is probably my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, the way it's like you were saying, the way he describes Mufasa's death is just
they're all
very
dead.
Pretty
dead,
funny.
But he didn't die right away.
Strongly suggest you get over there and take a look. And what else came out on Disney Plus? I cannot think of anything else that has dropped. But next year is going to be huge, both for Marvel and also for Star Wars. And
Marvel is just getting so much stuff. There's, we got a trailer for She-Hulk.
Yep.
Finally, which looks amazing. And we also got a little bit more of a peek for the what is it? The Marvels? Is that what it is for Miss Marvel?
Okay. Yep.
And then we also got. I was really happy to see that they actually. It was a rumor at first, but I was really glad to see that Agatha Harkness is getting her own spinoff.
Yep.
So to know that Agatha is getting a spinoff off of WandaVision was just like, yes.
Yeah. There really is a story to tell there after WandaVision, I think. Yep. So that'll be a good one to watch as well. I mean, we've listed the Star Wars ones coming next year. There's a long list of them. I think Mandalorian Season 3 is going to start filming soon. We will see. The next one we're going to get, though, is Book of Boba Fett, which drops in late December, which will be great. But, there's much more. There's Andor, there's, there's Ahsoka and much more coming for 22. So it's going to be a good year for Star Wars next year and for Marvel and Disney Plus. And I think this platform is just growing more and more and more. We always knew it was going to be huge, but to grow as much as it has with so many shows, I mean, in the space of 12 to 18 months is just pretty amazing, I think. And maybe even the pandemic helped that along, because there were so many people at home starving for Disney. I mean, you can think of all those Disneyland people just starving for Disney, and at home getting this one outlet they probably thanked God for, and then so Disney Plus grew pretty well. Something pretty before we do go, because we're getting pretty close again. I did want to talk about the fact that the US international borders have now opened. I think it was November the 8th officially. And so if you're looking for anywhere in the world now to go to a Disney park, you can actually go and visit once again. I know the international borders have now opened up in Australia as well. So you're able to go over for a trip to Disneyland or Disney World, which is very exciting for a lot of Australians that I know. I think there'll be a bit of wait and see attitude for now, but coming up really soon, I think you'll see a lot of international travellers. And I think Disney World's more known for it as more of a tourist destination than what Disneyland is, but I think there is a lot of Australians going over to Disneyland quite regularly that I know of. In fact, I think the Howard Johnson Hotel, which is just across the road from Disneyland, is a big hotel for a lot of Australians. They've actually been doing a few live shows throughout.
Yeah, they've got a camera that broadcasts 24 hours a day on the roof of the Howard Johnson. It's the Matterhorn Cam. So if you want to get, no matter what time of day it is, especially at night, it's amazing when the Matterhorn is all lit up.
Yep.
And during Christmas, I know it was lit up for Merriest Nights, but they had a snow projection on. They had a projection mapping on the Matterhorn to make it look like it was snowing, and it was really, really cool seeing that. So if you watch the Matterhorn Cam at night, you can see the Matterhorn all lit up, which is really, really cool. And it's just a nice scroll, like a panoramic type of scroll across Disneyland there. And they're the only ones that do that. So it's really cool to see over at the Howard Johnson.
Yeah, definitely. This is a little video that Disney released to let everyone know that they're welcome back to the parks again. And it's an awesome little video. And it's awesome to know that, people are allowed to travel again because it's been such a long time for a lot of us to go back to Disneyland or Disney World and get a bit of a magic in our lives. And a lot of us, including myself, had cancelled trips over the last 2 years to go to the park. So it's really great news to know that. And kind of the last thing I wanted to sort of go over before we head off today is the fact that we've got some more information regarding the cruise ship, the Disney Wish. And so they've now decided to release a little bit more on what's going on regarding the kids section of the ship. And look, what do you think this ship's going to be like? Do you think it's going to be the best ship we've seen from Disney so far, Chase?
Absolutely. I think if you can get in on this adventure on the Disney Wish, I think you are going to have an absolutely mind-blowing experience. And not just your kids, but for everybody. There's something for everybody to enjoy on this ship. And so I think this is going to be absolutely phenomenal, from the types of shows that they have, the evening entertainment, the Broadway-like entertainment that you're seeing there. I think this is going to be just fantastic, and I would love to do a Disney cruise, and I can definitely help anybody who would like to book a Disney cruise. So if you're looking to go to any Disney destination, I do specialize in Disney travel with Star Stuff Travel. So I would love to be able to help you make a magical vacation like this.
Yeah, and so what can you do for us, Chase? Obviously you can organise airfares and also hotel bookings, but what else, can you sort of book for and help people out with?
So definitely finding you the best deals to experience all of these amazing, vacations. So packages for like your theme park tickets or your stay on a cruise. The new Star Cruiser Resort in Florida, and all of these travel agents are basically doing this work for you. They're advocating on your behalf and getting in touch with all the right people, waiting for hours to make sure that you get everything that you're looking for and always finding you the best deal. So that's what's really exciting about booking with a travel agent. It doesn't cost anything extra to work with a travel agent to help you book your trip. And it definitely allows you to kick back and relax and enjoy the planning of it with your family, where a travel agent will be on the phones for you, be emailing, be making sure that the best deal is applied to your vacation. So that, I think, is worth its weight in gold right there.
Absolutely. And so just to let you guys know all about Chase, if you haven't been with us before. So this is Chase's site, DisneylandToday.net. Make sure it's the .net, guys, on the end. And you can, if you click into any of Chase's stories here on the site, let's just, for instance, pick this story here. And is my internet going to keep up with me? We've got a little box here where you can click on, and Chase will get you to fill out some information, and then he'll take over from there and start planning your trip. So that's the way. Go over to DisneylandToday.net. Of course, if you're going to Disneyland, go over to the site for all the up-to-date information on Disneyland. And in fact, Chase has a lot more than that on the site, including, everything that is Disney, and also latest trailers. If you scroll down to the bottom, on Disney Plus as well, so head over there for
out of
that.
Room for trailers.
Yeah, I know. There's too many things coming out. Oh my God!
I know.
I didn't think we'd ever complain about that.
Stop releasing all these trailers. We're waiting for. Waiting for Spider-Man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're never going to complain about too much content from you, though, Disney. So keep it coming, keep it coming. Chase just needs to get a bigger page, which is impossible. But anyway, but yeah, head over to the site and click onto one of the stories that you may be interested on. There you'll see Chase waving up and down there at you, and Chase will take it from there and plan you a fantastic trip. And, if you don't want to wait on a line for hours trying to book something that is Disney, then Chase will do that all for you. So make sure you head over there and talk to Chase about your next Disney trip. Guys, once again, we've hit the hour. We've gone over the hour as we normally do. I think we've covered everything that is Disney this week. So great to see Disneyland back in the holiday season. So great to see the photos. So fantastic to see you in the park. Again, of course, this is not your first trip since the pandemic sort of finished over there at Disneyland. Well, Disneyland reopened, should I say. But so great to see you over there. I'm loving that the international borders are open now so that Australians and the rest of the world can, join in on the magic. I see Disney every week getting closer and closer to pre-pandemic magic. Love to know that World of Color's coming back, as it's probably one of my favorite shows in all of Disney parks.
Heard some great things about that, and about the cast previews of Fantasmic, rumored to be coming soon. And so, we'll be getting Fantasmic back, we'll be getting World of Color back, and right now the Christmas Fantasy Parade is going on at Disneyland, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
And as we get more and more people vaccinated, I think we're moving closer and closer to putting this all behind us, hopefully, crossing our fingers and triple crossing our fingers. So if you haven't got vaccinated already, get vaccinated, world. After saying that, that's it for us this week. Your Magic Partners live. We'll see you next Saturday again, we're hoping. Until then, Have a great week, and we'll see you real soon.